All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? Almost time. We're about to start with the weekly outlook. First time on this new date or new time window. Usually this was at Sunday. From this week and forward, we're going to do this on Monday, 8 a.m. EST. And in a few minutes from now, I'm already going to show you why this was a very good decision. And that has to do with more information. Let me see the chat. Robin and Paul already here. Nice guys, welcome. Let the other people join in very soon. And yeah, you guys know the drill. So what we're going to do first is we're going over the news from Forex Factory. After that, we're going to use that news idea into the chart, starting with DXY, the indices, and then we go over the Forex pairs. This week, both gold, Bitcoin, and oil are also on the list. So very excited, like new stuff coming in. And after I went over all the pairs I'm looking at this week, then there is room for questions from you guys. I will go over the chat to answer all the questions. So make sure when you ask a question in the chat to both name the pair you are referring to, but maybe also the time frame you're referring to in your question. So when I go back into the questions, I can answer your question directly and very precise. So you get the most value out of the stream. And yeah, with that said, let's dive in. So it's now Monday, 8 a.m. Before I begin, by the way, this weekly outlook is a separate stream. So at the end of weekly outlook, I will close the stream and then I will open a new one. So the recording is just one batch. And yeah, from that point, we're going forward. So very excited. It's NFP week, guys. It's a new month, new quarter. And then Monday of that is always very nice. And we've seen some movements already, by the way. So this means, I'm going over in a second, but this means the monthly candle is opening today. Remember the AMD, the power of 3? NFP week plays a big role on that. If you're not sure how to play red folders and also not sure how to play NFP or CPI or FOMC or any news pair, make sure you watch the videos from the mentorship. There are two, if I remember correctly. One is when to trade and when not, and the other is high and low probability, something like that. Make sure you watch them for this week because they will help you tremendously in your trades. Okay. Well, I made this screenshot a few minutes ago. So Euro German prelim CPI has already been finished. It's all day. Cat bank holiday. So for the cat pairs, don't expect too much today. And at 10 a.m. in 2 hours from now, we will have the first USD red folder, the first of many. On Tuesday, we have Euro core CPI flash estimate at 5 a.m. So expect some nice movement there. 9:30, we have Fed Chair Powell speaking. Always nice to have Jerome Powell speaking. And at 10 a.m. we have news. I think this on Tuesday is going to be very volatile, so that's going to be amazing. Every time when Powell speaks, something happens, so that's very nice. On Wednesday, we have the non-farm unemployment change, ISM. So look at all the red folders inside one kill zone. Use the framework I mentioned in the video from the mentorship. So expect when you have both 8:30 and 10 a.m. that one of them is going to be the manipulation of the move. So that's why I wouldn't recommend taking too big of a position before these news reports because probably your entry will be between 8 and 10 a.m. for USD pairs. In the PM session, we have FOMC meeting minutes. When I gave homework for FOMC a few weeks ago, many of you guys thought that FOMC meeting minutes was the same as FOMC. It is not. So please make sure you're not confusing them. This is not one of the three big boys. This meeting minutes is a different one. Thursday, very exciting. We have GHF CPI. I have all the GHF pairs on my charts already, or on the lookout for weeks. They're being very bullish since the rate cuts from GHF. And CPI, I hope to get a nice retracement to get an entry on Thursday. I will show you how it looks like in a second. Also for Thursday, USD bank holiday. And I think that's like that's like the little trap. A bank holiday before NFP. It's the 4th of July, of course. It's a nice anniversary, of course. So I would say most of our entries, especially on the streams, are going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, you can expect a London stream again because we don't have a 10 a.m. game because it's bank holiday. Probably will be live around 2-ish, 2:30 around London. So we can see Cat, no, not Cat, GSF CPI together. Bank holiday, we don't trade. And Friday, yeah, you guys know the drill, right? 8:30, it's showtime, fireworks with NFP. And probably I will be live Friday before NFP, so 8:15, 8:20. So we will see NFP together. Very important, guys. NFP protocol. You guys are learning ICT concepts. The things I'm teaching you are all based on ICT concepts. One very important drill of ICT and NFP weeks, he calls this NFP protocol, and it is after Wednesday AM, New York AM, you don't take any trades until NFP. So that means between Wednesday, New York AM, the end of New York AM, until Friday after NFP, don't take any positions on the USD pairs, especially. So we won't be doing that as well. Perhaps on Thursday, London, if we see a small NQ scalp, who knows? But I don't expect anything from NQ during a bank holiday. But that's how NFP protocol works. So don't be that guy that's going to blow the capital between Wednesday and Friday. This is stupid. Don't do it. If you're already in a position and you want to swing the whole weekly range, you can stay in your position. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's about taking new positions. Okay, that's NFP protocol and the news. And with that said, let's go over. We already here. We had DXY. So let's scroll down through the framework we always use during the weekly outlooks. Price only trades to two areas on the higher time frame. What we're going to discuss: old highs and lows. We call it external range liquidity, and imbalances. So VI, value gap, a gap. Let me put the bracket in place. And then we call it internal range liquidity. So if you hear me refer to internal to external or external to internal, I'm referring to old highs and lows towards imbalances or vice versa. Many of you guys are here for some time, but for new people especially, this is where I'm referring to. So if you don't know, if you're not sure if you can remember this, maybe you can pause the video here, screenshot this, and then continue playing the stream. Okay, so why I mentioned I love that we have the weekly outlook now instead of Sunday. That is because we already have Sunday evening and Monday information, Monday London information. That means we have seen the weekly opening gap. It had a gap this week. I'll show you in a second. And this will give a nice framework on what to look for. For the last 3 weeks, basically like in June, the manipulation move was NFP. NFP low of the month before expanding higher. I think that expansion higher is still on the cards. So I'm not selling any DXY yet. My bias is still bullish. And my bias is the June 24 high, so last week's high. But especially this one. This is my strong liquidity for some time. The equal highs here. Lots of buy side liquidity resting here. So very important that you have this on your chart marked out. So that's the 106.16 and the 105.72. Those are my two draws for a bullish DXY. Let's see if we can spot some arrays here. Most low-hanging fruit we already tapped today is the weekly VI, volume imbalance. We also have a volume imbalance right here, but it's too far away for my opinion, so I haven't marked it out on the chart. If we're going lower, then of course, I'm going to mark it out, but for now it's not very relevant. You see I have last week's high and low also marked out, but because I want to see where do we react off from. Are we reacting from the weekly fair value gap higher, or are we going to sweep last week's high, sweep last week's low, I mean, before going higher? Let's go one time frame up. Here you see that 4-hour, not 4-hour, the weekly volume balance. And we have here a daily value gap. We already tapped into it, and we tapped it here again. We stopped at 50% of the range of the wicks here, and then we moved upwards. Remember what I always say, and by the way, also daily volume balance here. I'm not going to mark it out all. I'm not going to mark them all out. You guys know this is an area where I expect higher price from already. If you have a tap into a value gap or a gap or volume balance, and then the body is closing way above that, that is a very bullish signal. Like in the candlestick Bible, you can call this a hammer or bullish hammer, or there's so many names for that, but it's a bullish form of price action. And if you go to the 4-hour, nicer. This is the gap, by the way, where I talk about. Like if we have the weekly outlook on Sunday, it would have looked like this. But now, why I love this is we have the extra few candles. Here, we have the new week opening gap here between Friday and Sunday. Very nice for my balance. And now is the question, this new week opening gap, the volume balance, are we going to trade to it to go lower from towards last week's low? Or are we going to use as a magnet to go through towards the equal highs right here and eventually to the equal highs up there? We'll see. We don't know that yet, but this is why I like it. And if you go even lower, this already is lining up as a very nice market maker buy model, in my opinion, with your original consolidation right here. Remember last week's video about market maker models? I think this can be a very nice market maker model with a local Monday London low of the week. This is how I'm currently looking at price. I'm not expecting too much for today. If we going up again, then of course I'm going to look aggressively for shorts, but probably I will be in shorts from tomorrow and forward on USD pairs. But no, these are the two draws for DXY, and it's already lining up pretty nicely. Nice failure swings here in this move. And let's see if we can continue that move. My eyes currently, and that's maybe good for you guys, for the intraday traders here, my eyes currently are going towards this 1-hour BC. And my favorite USD pair to pair that with shorts is going to be Euro USD. I'm going to share it in a second. Euro USD has an exact same 1-hour SIBI on a waiting for a short as well. So this we're looking at. So it would be nice to see, for example, this, and then that the bodies are respecting the 1-hour SIBI to go higher. If I see this being respected, I'm in for shorts on the USD pairs, and preferably Euro USD. So yeah, you guys know the daily outlook is, of course, daily, weekly, monthly. But now we have already seen some nice movement. I dropped down a little lower for the intraday traders to already give some outlook. But of course, on the 9 a.m. stream, the regular stream we have in an hour from now or 40 minutes from now, I will go even more in depth on this. I say higher dollar. I'm not going to say higher dollar forever. Remember, we have rate cuts coming up this year, and rate cuts mean, and I think it's going to be this move for this year for the dollar, or this move. I don't think we're done with the upside yet, but I think we will set a high of the year pretty soon. Or not year, but even like at least high of the quarter. After sweeping one of the highs, or these equal highs, or these equal highs. Okay, this is the green list for this week. And it actually looks kind of similar as last week. And that's cool. So yeah, JPY is dying as always. Like like longing JPY has been the move since the whole year. I haven't capitalized on too many JPY moves recently, and that has to do with the delivery. Like, the delivery is quite straightforward, just boom, lower. On a 4-hour. On a 4-hour, we had that weird scam wick right here on Monday. I said during stream, it's very weird, but it was a rebalance, and it was actually the high of the week. And then, of course, lower, lower, lower. Rebalance here. Wednesday, New York. Lower, lower, lower. Then rebalance here into the order book here. So Personally, I have trouble with catching JPY moves. I would say we were going long. So I've used the JPY as my favorite this week, and that has to do with my very strong bullish bias for DXY. And remember, when you have a bearish currency, in this case JPY, and a bullish currency, in our case US dollar, that will mean the cross of that, so use JPY, is going to be very clean, aggressive, higher. Okay, let's go over the lady NQ. Remember, the end of May, I mentioned we have a weekly value gap, and we tap into it, and the bodies are respecting the weekly busy. The bodies are closing in the upper part, so that's very nice. It's a bullish signal. So that means the next candle I expect to be green. And this is the move we capitalize on big time. Big payouts, lots of challenges all the 20 Apex challenges, most of them were made in, I think, these 2 weeks. Because it was just a very clear draw on liquidity. Well, a few weeks later, what do you see? Weekly value gap. We tap into it. The bodies are closing above the weekly busy. So, what do you expect my bias is for this week? It's going to be a green candle. Green candle with low-hanging fruit, the 2 weekly highs. So, this weekly high, this weekly high. So, the most leverage is going to be on longs for my Nasdaq trades. What I want to add to this is ES, the correlated pair, because we're always looking for. Let me make it more clean for you guys. We're always looking for SMTs. Well, the low of June 17th, this one, NQ took that. ES failed to do that. What is that? An SMT. So on Nasdaq, we have an SMT in a higher time frame PD array. That's very high probability, with ES being the strongest of the move. So if you want to long, preferably long ES. I trade NQ, so probably going to be slower than ES. I think NQ is just, yeah, I traded for years, so I'm very familiar with it. I would definitely look at ES as well. Well, on the daily, there's not much to see, right? On the daily, it doesn't look too clean. Like we have the daily, remember last week, the daily SIBI on NASDAQ? We're still kind of respecting that. You see the bodies are respecting that? But the weekly is the, in the hierarchy, the higher time frame. So I think this week we will going to ignore the daily SIBI and we're just going for the 30 swings up here. Also, yes. And here's an important rule, and I'm going to refer to this lots of times during the weekly, the daily streams this week. With this price action and the time of the year, we could see a local high of the year. Not the high of the year, but the local high of the year. So that means we're going to see some lower prices very soon. How I'm going to indicate that is an SMTs at the highs. So if one of the two, and I'm also going to go to YM in this case, because for that SMT at the highs, I want a YM as well. If one of the three indices fails to make a new all-time high, and then we displace lower, then you could see that that shift, and we can see lower prices for some weeks to come. For now, I'm totally bullish, so I'm only going to look for longs. Maybe today I will go over lower time for NQ after weekly outlook. But most of my trades will be longs for Nasdaq, and if we made the S&P at the highs, all-time highs, then I'm going to shift to shorts, and that's for the indices. Then Euro US dollar. Well, I think this is gonna be one of the most clean trades of the quarter. We have filler swings right here. Weekly internal. Remember, new guys, internal range for value gap to external range. So low hanging fruit for this week is going to be this low. So I'll definitely look for shorts very soon. And that's why I love the Monday outlook. Without this, we didn't saw this during the outlook if we had it on Sunday, because this has just been printed. You see, we trade in the value gap at London, and we see the new 4-hour candles displacing. We have a new 4-hour candle starting in 40 minutes. And remember what I mentioned here on DXY? I'm looking for this 1 hour value gap. Similarly, I want to see this value gap holding for euro US dollar. So that will be a short that could look like this. And I'm willing, like what you can, I think this is a very nice trade. Very nice. 25 points stop loss. It's like more of position trades or catching the weekly range. It's not your intraday 5 pips and 15 pips target. I'm willing to take an aggressive entry already. And if price wants to go one more time, then I take the loss on that. And I will take a new entry maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I think these lows are the targets for this week. So definitely keep an eye on Euro USD today and tomorrow. This could be a very nice trade, and perhaps we could trade together. But again, like that's the cool part. This hourly candle needs to print for another 38 minutes, so we have time. Nice, because we need to finish the weekly outlook. Then during the 9 a.m. stream, then this new hourly candle will form, and perhaps we can see a nice internal to external on the lower time frame. And this looks to me also like a pretty nice market maker sell model. So let me see on the 15-minute. No. This I'll go over in the stream. Let's stay high on the outlook. Okay, so that is for Euro US dollar. Look for shorts, of course. I see DXY higher, so USD pair short. GU I'm only going to use for SMTs. Why? We are still consolidating inside a weekly busy right here. You see how the bodies are respecting at 50%? I don't like that currently for shorts. Also, when I look at Euro GBP to see which one is weaker, I think we can make a very nice, and actually you could trade this internal to external on Euro GBP. I always say don't trade Euro GBP because their main game is consolidating, like we did like for weeks in a row. But now we are trending again, and I'm anticipating to make a weekly internal to external. So you could trade this week. So keep that in mind. Keep this on your watches as well. Shorting Euro GBP. So GBP not going to be a pair I want to look at for actual entries, but only for SMTs. Well, currently, if you remove this a little bit, like this looks very clean, right? It's on a 4-hour market maker sell model. So aggressive buys, aggressive sells. 4-hour SIBI, SMT with Euro US dollar short. Another 4-hour short. Let's remove this daily. And now we are again in a 4-hour SIBI, and see how the bodies are respecting that. So I think today or tomorrow, I think today already, we could see a high of the week for both the USD pairs, and maybe also a high of the week for the USD pairs, low of the week for DXY. I'm definitely anticipating that. So a very nice movement. And I would then go for Euro USD shorts. But like if you see this could be a nice market maker sell model for GPUSD. But again, remember, if it's very sloppy, it is because you're still in a weekly busy. So this kind of way. Okay, that is it for the USD pairs. Take a little drink. I'm a little cold, so my voice is a little cranky. So yeah, of course, that's why I need to move from this cold Netherlands. I need to go back to the sun. Okay. Euro AUD. No AUD news, but I think we can still reach these lows here. And where do you want these lows to? Where you want to short from? Well, we still are respecting this daily SIBI. I'm expecting Euro to be weak. So Euro AUD will be a nice pair. Low hanging fruit. Every time I see this, a flat body low, is liquidity. Very nice. Price loves to trade through that. So for this week, not for now, but I want to see more. But I would love to see a nice market maker sell model towards this low, and eventually towards that low all the way right here, the June low. Let's see what it does today and tomorrow. I don't think we are done yet with the downside. Not that, this is not my favorite pair already is Nasdaq and Euro USD. So Euro AUD is not too good, but I'll just watch it for during the week. Well, same for GBP AUD market maker sell model. Look at how Friday we just stopped like right before completing the market maker sell model. I want this to be reached. And we made an SMTs the lows with Euro AUD. This is my target. Even when GBP AUD is stronger, this says enough. Like I don't think we are done with the downside. Okay, then the CAD pairs. Remember today, CAD bank holiday. For a bank holiday, we are moving quite fast, but it's of course because of the bullish dollar. Right here. Sweep liquidity. Upwards. Now we're just moving. I think DXY is just on a rampage right now. Yeah. USD CAD. I think we can go higher. That has to do with both the bullish dollar bias. I don't care about CAD in that case, but I see some very nice liquidity pools. Like maybe on the daily it's even clearer. All these failure swings. And also the liquidity pools up here. With so much liquidity, and we're still respecting the weekly order block. This one. So I think we can see a higher USD CAD. We already displays higher, so let's see if the value gaps that are being created right now in the coming hours are respected. And you can hunt for a nice long. That's for USD CAD. Euro CAD, I'm waiting. I think we can still see shorts. Why? Remember, smart money reversal here. Aggressive buys, aggressive sells. Not 1 hour. A daily SIBI being respected, displacement lower. Now we are in that area with this daily order block and the daily fair value gap. On the current price action, it looks like it doesn't get respected. And that's okay. We can, of course, trade lower from this, but also here on the weekly, we have this SIBI here. So you could see maybe an internal to external move for the rest of the week. This is what I'm seeing for your Euro CAD. It's tricky because like the other CAD crawls I say higher, this CAD crawls I say lower. So it's a little contradictory. But because I think Euro is weak, we can see this movement. So we'll see. I'll just monitor price for both USD CAD and Euro CAD. Those are not pairs I'm going to look at today for executions. I'm just looking at later in the week, especially because we have bank holiday today. GCAD, same. We are moving from a weekly busy toward a weekly SIBI on the daily. Looks like this. For GCAD, I think I'm kind of neutral. I want to see, but why I have it on my watch list is I want to see which arrays are holding. I see a flat body low right here. I just want to see what is holding and what is not holding. NCD CAD, I think this is a nice draw on liquidity. So that's for the CAD pairs. CAD are, for me, the lowest on the list for trades, but I have them because I just want to check. Like the volatility is there. Like it's not consolidating anymore. There's some volume in it. Now I want to just check, like, okay, do we respect premium arrays or do we respect discount arrays and trade based off that? I don't have much information right now on that, and I'll just wait for later in the week for more confirmation, especially after the bank holiday. Okay. Then the GHF pairs. Remember, Thursday we have CPI. And I'm mentioning this like since June 21 already. I mentioned, okay, I want this busy to be traded into before going higher. Well, I'm not in, of course. Very painful. it was a very clean, aggressive sells, aggressive buys, smart money reversal. What I hope to see, and I'm not sure if I will get it, is like if we don't get an entry this week, we are probably going to create a weekly BC right here to the upside. So then I will trade it next week. What I hope to see during CPI is a nice little scam wick and then higher. So during the Thursday stream London, what we will do together, I hope to see a lower price from the CPI. And how that would look like, it's kind of similar what we had with the CPI on DXY. Here, this was like we know the DXY is so bullish after this, but we have the NFP expansion, manipulation, distribution. CPI was the retracement. Look, it was the. I hope to see this for GSF, and then somewhere here take the entry to infinity. Take a nice position or swing there. That's what I hope to see on CSF to get this move during CPI. If it expands from CPI, I will just accept with so much pain in my heart that I'm not going to capitalize on this move yet. But it will. Like if order flow turns bullish, every retracement is going to be very nice because you know, okay, nice, it's game time from this point. Only these kind of days and weeks are kind of painful because you knew, okay, I was in a move. Intraday, you can of course look for some nice scalps. Here, nice aggressive, self-aggressive buys. I'm just looking randomly at price, but just want to make a point. You can look intraday, but I want to trade intraday from a higher time frame array, like a daily, weekly, or monthly, or 4 hour. So I'm waiting for this. Euro GSF, all the GSF pairs are kind of the same, guys. So Euro GSF, GBP, CAD, AUD GSF, ooh, hyper bullish, hyper bullish. Also, just like I think USD and AUD are the strongest today or this week. That's why I love the AUD shorts. Just like the USD shorts, I think both USD and AUD are kind of strong. So if we don't capitalize on this week, I'll probably go for a nice weekly internal to external next week. So for now, I'm going to be very patient and with pain in my eyes, pain in my heart, I must say, looking at the nice. Let's check where was a potential entry. Let's see. Like this was a nice return into the breaker here. That was nice. Completely missed that. On Thursday, London was this. It was also nice. Like there was a 4 hour busy and then with a little liquidity sweep before going down. But then you had this. This was not something I would have traded. This I could have traded. Big 4 hour busy. Break an order block right here. Together with a nice liquidity. And then expansion higher again 4 hour. So yeah, this was very nice. I hope that CPI brings some nice black candle before going higher. So daily, weekly, monthly was nothing. Perhaps into the breaker here on daily, but 4 hour was cleaner. Okay. I will go over a few more pairs, guys. Then I will go over the chat for questions. And after that, we'll go change towards the regular stream and then finish the weekly outlook. Use JPY. Well, I mentioned already, higher. The question is higher from where? Like we are in price discovery. We are in all-time high. So we don't know where price will go here. You actually don't know. But you do know that you have a bullish dollar, a bearish JPY. So what you can do then is a few things. To be honest, here on the daily, I don't see anything except for this daily busy that's already been tagged on Friday. So it doesn't need to come here. So let's see on the 4 hour. 4 hour. You see that we had an expansion and then a retracement into this fair value gap in the order block before expanding higher, making these down close candles an order block. So, okay, we could have already set a low of the week here. Here at the 1 hour, you see Friday PM, traded to the daily, the 1 hour business here. Now we're expanding higher. I think honestly, like I mentioned before, I have some trouble with the concepts I'm teaching you to find nice clean entries because JPY is just stepping down. You could try. I'm going to do that this week. Is to just long every discount arrays. Is long every discount array and see what happens. And based on the current manipulation move we have, that's this one. Swing low. This is swing high. That made the low. This could be your targets. If you want not to take this swing low, but the more significant swing, or swing high, I mean, you can take around here. So -1, -2, -2.5. This could be some point of interest for JPY this week. Again, longing into all-time high is always very difficult because again, price discovery you don't know. Just like Nasdaq, when it's going back to all-time high, you don't know where it's going to end. You don't. So higher use JPY. Then let's look at gold. Start the monthly, new month. We still have that monthly busy here. Don't fade that. On the weekly, we are consolidating. So if you had some trouble with gold recently, that's okay. High time frame is consolidating. Like you were maybe you got used to the whole year, everything long was a nice trade, and that's very good. I applaud you for that. This is difficult. Like in a consolidation, price just books less clean. Doesn't mean you cannot trade in it, but the high probability is a little bit gone. Here's well, daily, not very clean. But the lower time frame, like what I noticed about gold, and I mentioned this before, and I think the experienced gold trader watching this, they are going to say, yeah, dude, I already knew this. Thanks for thanks for saying the obvious. What gold likes to do intraday inside the kill zone is sweep a small time frame liquidity pool and then makes a nice market maker model. So I was looking at this London. We swept a daily low. It was the Thursday low. Wasn't the Thursday low, by the way, but it's just a swing low here. Thursday low was here. Yeah. Okay, so at this Thursday Asia low, and then displays upwards. It's on the 50-minute, on the lower time even clearer. Value gap 1, value gap 2, target. I would say it's going to be here. Not sure if it's going to reach today, but I would say this could be a nice target. Manipulation lag could even go higher. And so I think for the gold intraday, which most of you guys are trading, it's very, very nice actually. Even on the 50-minute. I know most of you guys are on the 5 and 1 minute, but so even when you have that higher time frame consolidation, I would say you could call it turtle soup, whatever you want to call it. Like look for that liquidity sweep, so alt high or low, mark structure shift, and then sweep an opposing liquidity pool. That's for gold. What I noticed here was the following. Between gold and silver, the two correlated pairs. Here, the Thursday 9. This is the same low. That's gold swept. Silver didn't. That's an S&T. S&T for higher prices. So I'm very curious what's going to happen. Like I think now looking at this to 1 hour, we can look for an internal to external, perhaps. So I must look for the gold masters in the group. What they will say. Let me know in the chat if you have some nice analysis on gold. I would say short term we will go higher, but I wouldn't fade. Like I would say a nice market maker sell model targeting this original consolidation towards the monthly. So perhaps something like this would be on my mind. So that means a higher price for now, but later lower. And yeah, very curious. Like again, I'm not the best gold trader. My mastery, or not mastery, but my most experience is in Nasdaq and in the forex pairs, not in gold, not in silver, also not in oil. And oil is like the first time in weeks that's on the time, not on the time, but on the watch list. We created this weekly busy, so we already traded higher from it. or not from it, but away from it. If I see some prices lower, on lower time frame, we could see perhaps a nice market maker sell model before going higher again. And that's on a weekly and internal to external. I'm monitoring that. So I'm not going to take any trades on oil yet, but it's on the watch list for when it comes back to the weekly busy. On the daily, not much to see. Of course, very daily busy here, but weekly is better. And that could also resonate with a potential order block creation on the monthly. So oil is definitely on the cards. And finally, guys, to finalize on the weekly outlook, we have the crypto pairs back on the list. Because I'm not sure when it happened. I think yesterday or maybe this morning, we had displacement. Actual green, yeah, it was Sunday. Green displacement. And I mentioned before, we have higher crypto price coming up. We have. Don't fade that, please. It can go lower. It can go lower, but when it goes higher, it will go higher, and like a rocket ship towards all-time highs. What I'm going to do right now, not today, but from tomorrow and forward, I'm going to monitor the daily BC. Is it respected higher? Then I'm going to look for long entries towards all-time highs. Again, you guys know I'm hunting that. Gold intraday traders, I know Matt, for example, let me know what you think about Bitcoin. I would say this could be very nice. Of course, I see this daily CB. I do. Don't get me wrong. So I'm going to look for today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Do respect it. To go higher. And if that happens, I'm actually not going to trade Bitcoin. I'm going to take Ethereum for two main reasons. What is on Bitcoin on the right side? The last low that was swept was here. It was May 10. Let's look at May 10 right here. It's right here. What does it say to you? Ethereum didn't sweep this low. Gold, not gold, ditch to gold. Bitcoin did. That's S&T. S&T with Ethereum being the strongest. Together with the S&T, we have fundamental news, and that is the Ethereum ETF. I was watching that. Like, as soon as this month, like in the coming 2 weeks, we can see an approval of the Ethereum ETF. That is bullish. I think the Bitcoin ETF was somewhere in January. I think this was it. Somewhere here. There was the ETF news. This run upwards. And I don't say we will see something similar for Ethereum, but an SMT, bullish SMT. I'm going to take longs on Ethereum. And then, like, my low-hanging fruit is not going to be these swing highs. It's actually going to be or this swing high or all-time high altogether. It's not that much. So, yeah, very excited about and again, don't get me wrong, we can get one more sweep to lows before we go higher. It can. But every time I see some potential bullish value gap created, it's just a move I honestly don't want to miss. I don't want to get another UCGF. Okay. Yeah, that's it for the weekly outlook, guys. These are the pairs I'm looking at. To maybe make a little tier list, how gamers say that, like which are my favorites. Nasdaq is going to be one of my favorites. USD pairs, especially USD short, AUD shorts. CAT, I'm not too sure of. GSF pairs, same. So CAT and GSF, I hope to see a nice retracement or in the week or during CPI. If we retrace already and then in CPI is the expansion higher, I'm fine. But I want to see some retracement on GSF for an entry. use JPY. It's going to be nice longs. And I'm going to later in the week, I'm going to look for crypto. So my eyes are glued towards Nasdaq and Euro USD today. Okay. So yeah, now it's time for questions. So I will go over the chat right now. And let me see. If you have any questions, guys, let me know. I'm going over all the chats that were here. I see some nice good mornings. Amazing, guys. I will go over the good mornings as well during the live stream in a few minutes. So what we'll do right now, I'm going to answer the questions. I'm going to wrap up the weekly outlook. So we have a independent recording. And then I will make a new live stream for the actual stream. And between that will be like a few minutes break. Euro GBP coming down from the 4-hour fair value gap. Yeah, Euro GBP is actually quite nice. Quite nice. So like I'm going to follow displacement here. So this is not displacement yet. Displacement lower, fair value gap. You guys know the market maker models by now. So study last week's video about the market maker models. That's all I look for at the intermediate term time frame. 1 hour, 4 hour. So this is the first week in like a long time that I say you can trade Euro GBP. Let me see AUD USD. AUD USD, by the way, as well. AUD is very strong, just like GBP. Okay. Let me see. I see someone says happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday? And I promise I won't sing for you. I don't want to do that to you guys. I'll keep it to the trades. You don't want to hear me singing. Alexandra, your question or your comment, which pair are you referring to? Denergy, I love this question. Does low-hanging fruit is the same as drawn liquidity? Yeah. And with low-hanging fruit, I mean it's basically the first drawn liquidity you encounter. And most of the time, that's just your most close high or low, or most close higher time fair value gap. Nasdaq. Okay, for Nasdaq, I was going to be bearish due to the value gap not being completely mitigated, and I completely agree with you, with you there, Alexandra. So to come back to like here. So currently on Nasdaq, we have that daily SIBI. I remember we wick into it, but the bodies are closing below it. That's bearish. I completely agree. But the hierarchy of time frames is that the weekly is most of the time more powerful or more reliable than the daily because it's just higher. And the higher time frame, we are having a daily internal to external. That is the reason I mentioned before that ES could be a play this week. Of course, we are consolidating on a daily, in the daily busy. But we have a bullish SMT with ES. ES doesn't have any bearish arrays. Let me see the 4-hour. Yeah, only the value gaps here, but daily, weekly, monthly don't have any bearish stuff. So I think personally, yes, it's here, but I think we're going to disrespect it to the highs. And that's also based on the S&T. So I think this is to lure in early sellers. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to pay for that information. So I'm going to take a loss, maybe 2. And if I do and I see displacement lower, of course, I'm going to change to shorts. But for now, based on the weekly, my bias is internal to external. And that means longs. With a big fair value gap, as this on a weekly right now, Alexandra, price doesn't need to come to the weekly, to the 50%. If you have a very big fair value gap, I think ICT talks about this in the 2023 mentorship. You can divide the fair value gap into quarters. So in this case, like, this is a massive fair value gap. And you mentioned about the equal lows. Which equal lows are you referring to? Let me know. Hey, David. Yes, we're going to have an amazing, productive week. We're going to chat during the stream. So then I'll be going over the good mornings and stuff. Now it's just questions for the weekly outlook. So the recording, people can just rewatch this at 2 times speed without too much distraction. Do you plan to restrict the free content once you open a private mentorship? No, most of it will just stay the same. And the actual like I'm wrong on the English word right now, but like the how the private mentorship will look like, the details that will be shared very soon. But it's not that I'm going to stop with the weekly outlooks, the live streams, that the Skool group is going to be paid or anything. That's definitely not on the cards. That will just stay free. Like the base of the free mentorship is always the same rule, and that is I want you guys, every single one of you, that you can become profitable on your own with the free content from the Skool group and the streams. That's the whole like base. I made this for the last few months and showed up every day consistently. Like I want you guys to succeed on your own. If you want some extra help with that, more intensive, because this is like you can call it a one-to-many approach, because I'm just here talking to hundreds of you guys at the same time, also in the DMs and stuff. If you want a more private one, like smaller groups, one-on-one and stuff, that is the private mentorship about. I hope that makes sense. Paul, let me know. About the quarters, Alexander, we can definitely discuss it. I think the fundamentals that I just mentioned. So with big for value gaps, just mark out also the 25%. Do you consider an order block as your order block is per definition interrange liquidity, Paul? Because extra range liquidity are all highs or lows. You can use it as internal range liquidity. It is strict rule, but I like to only use for value gaps. How do we master SMT? Look at the SMT video from the mentorship. It's 5 minutes or maybe 4. It's really short. And I think you should be able to explain a concept in less than 20 seconds, 30 seconds to really understand it. So here it comes. SMT. When two correlated pairs, for example, Euro USD and GBP USD, two correlated pairs, stop moving the same. When you are in an uptrend, they need to make higher highs and higher lows. When one of those fails to make a higher high, you will have an SMT. So one of them fails to make a high, and you will see displacement lower, confirming your SMT, and that is a possible reversal. And you can confirm that with discount rates failing and premium rates holding. Here we go. And if I went too fast, you can just rewind the YouTube button or watch the SMT video from the mentorship. It's on the Skool group. Yeah, Paul. If you reach level 7, you will definitely be like that will all stay the same. All stay the same. So and if there are changes, I'll let you guys know. So big updates coming soon, and I think it's all for the like to even make everything even better. Like so excited, so excited. Is it possible ES might want to go lower into weekly busy before going higher? It could, David. I love the question, but because of the SMT it made with NQ, I don't need it to be. I'm not going to wait for ES to go into the weekly busy. If you see discount arrays on lower time frame being disrespected and you see aggressive movement lower on ES, then you can your eye should immediately go to okay, let's wait until the weekly busy is hit. But again, because of the SMT, it doesn't need to. All right, guys, we are 55 minutes into the weekly outlook, and there's where I'm going to cut the recording. And we'll continue in a few minutes with the regular stream. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. The new weekly outlook, and with new I mean on a new time, 8 a.m. EST next week, and a week after that it will also be 8 a.m. EST on a Monday. So if more information and more precise outlooks, And yeah, I'm going to end the stream right now, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I will make a new live stream, so you can just stay on the channel, and the new link will appear in like 1 or 2 minutes from now. So a little few minutes break, and I'm expecting to come back at 9 a.m. EST. See you guys in a few minutes. Bye bye.